The picture I decided to choose is a picture very close to me. It represents the relationship between me and my younger brother. The age difference between us is 2 years, but I always had a feeling that he was actually like an older brother, more than me, like he takes care of me than me taking care of him. As you will see, the way we look at each other, we're like partners in crime. We always did everything together. I was so excited to have someone else like me around who experienced the same things I did. Our parents always emphasized on how we should be close and how we should be there for each other because we are always literally together. What drew my attention to this picture was actually the way we were looking at each other. Um, you will see that I was wearing one of my favorite t shirts, and actually, he was wearing one of his favorite t shirts from my closet. Which is very funny because we shared everything together, even clothes. So and the way he looked at me, I feel like he saw me as a role model, and the way I looked at him was more of me, like someone like now I'm not only responsible of myself, I'm responsible of myself and someone else.
This big picture reminds me of the time when I was carefree, a time where I had no worries. I didn't think about tomorrow. As you can see in the background, there's this trampoline, or I think we used to call it our imaginary house. It's not really imaginary, but it was like a house that we wanted to have when we grew up. We would play with our dolls and play dress up. The girl next to me, Mariam, uh, she is my cousin. She's my childhood best friend. We used to fight. We used to play, especially when we got into a fight. We used to say بصي بقى احنا نبقى نتصاحب على البسين. Looking at that picture, it reminded me of that where that phrase she used to always tell me. Beside her, there is Arwa. Arwa, she's also my cousin, but I think of her as my unbiological sister. She's like the sister I never had. She always comes to me for advice, and I sometimes treat her just like my sister. Uh, and then there is the baby in the background, who's Aisha. She's the youngest. Uh, she is the only one who in this picture who is still carefree. She doesn't play by the rules. She's always a rebel. She always has her hair in this messy curly hair. Um and she gives me that vibe that says like she always tells me that the better is yet to come. Don't worry, everything will be okay. She's always cheering me up and stuff.
Okay, so I chose this picture because it reminded me of something, like, it reminded me of a very important memory in my life and, like, a stage in my life that I'm never gonna get back, but one that I will remember forever. It was a senior trip, but this picture was in the airport in Egypt before we left, and it signified change because it was the first time I was traveling, like, without my family and just with my friends, and it was the last trip I was gonna have with the school, and it was our senior year, and we were all very excited for the new change and the new experience. And it is the most precious because each person in this picture signifies something very important to me. My best friend, my boyfriend, and two of my very, very close friends. These people, I consider them all my family. And it makes me feel nostalgic because I miss these days more than anything. It's been a huge change, and I miss the trip, and I miss the experience, and I miss the memories that we made.
Okay, I chose this picture because it was taken a long, long time ago. It was taken in a very happy time in my life. Even though I don't remember where we were, I remember how happy I felt back then. It's blurry and dark, but it is one of the most precious pictures I've got. It's one of my favorite people in the world. my favorite place in the world. The picture has me, my mom, and both of my grandparents. Everyone was happy and everything was okay back then. Now, my grandfather is dead and my grandmother got blinded, and I'm a whole other different person than the person I was back in this picture. It's like everything's different. What does it symbolize for me? It symbolizes family and happiness. It symbolizes these very few moments in life where you just feel like everything is perfect, like you're whole, like you could stay stuck in this moment for a long, long time without getting bored with it. And finally, what does it make me feel? It makes me feel nostalgic, mostly nostalgic, and slightly excited for these whole perfect moments that are yet to come.
I chose this picture as it's one of the most energetic photos taken during my graduation day, one of the most amazing days of my life. It's the most precious because it contains the majority of my school friends. When I look to this photo, everyone in this photo was very energetic, and this is a symbol of the real meaning of school days. It reminds me of the amazing school days also. It makes me feel like a child, and when I look to it, I want to go back and sit with my school friends. It's the symbol of this strong and irreplaceable friendship.
This picture is so memorable to my heart and so precious. It's a picture of my graduation ceremony. This is my father. He was really the source of inspiration that made me who I am today. Thus, I chose this picture to thank him about what he have done to me through all my life. To thank him in words it will not be enough. Thus, I thought of giving this picture to show how he's valuable and precious to me. My graduation ceremony really was important to me. It marked all the effort I did in school and all the things that I have encountered just to pass this stage of my life and finally start a new stage of joining the university. My father never let me down and was the source of happiness and inspiration to me to reach this success. He was really all the light in all the darkness I faced. Thus, I chose this precious picture to show his support.
I chose this picture because my mom is the only person in this entire world who has always had my back. My mom is my hero. She is the one person that has always been there for me and has never let me down. She never failed to make me happy. She inspires me every single day, and I don't know what I would do without her. She has done an amazing job raising me on her own, and I hope one day I could grow up to be as caring, brave, and loving as she is. This picture reminds me constantly that my mom has always been there for me. She was there through my good days and my dark days. She comforted me when I was down and also shared my happiest moments. This makes me feel happy and strong, knowing that a strong woman like her will always have my back, no matter what I go through. My mom is my queen and the one person that I strive to be like. She is my role model, and all I want is to make her proud of me like I am so proud of her. I truly love my mom. She has done an amazing job, and all these years, for the past 18 years, she's raised me on her own, and she's done an incredible job. I love my mom, and I truly strive to be like her when I grow up.
I chose this picture because it contains two of my favorite people in the world. Why is it most precious to me? It's because the two people that are there with me in the picture are actually one of the closest people I've ever had and one of the best people I ever got to meet. They were there for me through it all, and when I always found myself in need of someone, they would always be the first to rush to my aid. This picture reminds me of back at the day when I got to meet the twins at the very beginning, when I didn't know them that well. but I did have a feeling that we would get along together and that someday we would grow to be very close best friends. Every time I look at this picture, I just feel blessed that I got closer to the twins and that now I got to have the twin brothers as my own, and that anytime I need them, I know they'll be right there to aid me. This picture symbolizes the true meaning of friendship to me, where I actually see the twins as the best two friends I've ever had in my life. So yeah, it basically symbolizes the true meaning of friendship and loyalty to me.
This picture is one of the most precious pictures I have because the girl in the cart is my best friend, and she's been my best friend since kindergarten, so I've known her for like 15 years. And she's also my third cousin, which means my grandfather's grandpa is the brother of her grandfather's grandpa, but that's not important. So I love this picture because it describes us and describes how crazy we are when we're together. And I really miss her a lot. She's currently in Lebanon, in university, and this is the first time in 14 years for us to be separated. So this is why I love this picture.
This picture because it was one of the best moments of my life. It was the end of a great journey of organization, a huge organization of an event called the Talk by PAL. It's the most precious indeed because we were at this moment celebrating the success of the end of the event, and it reminds me of the good moments that we spend and the bad moments the good and bad moments that we spend in preparing this day. It makes me feel so proud of my team and how much we developed. It symbolized success in my life.
This picture means a lot to me. It's not the oldest picture my best friend and I have together, but it's definitely the most evocative. Why is it the most precious? Well, it just represents our relationship. We've known each other since we were just newborns. We grew up together, we were brought up together, and as a matter of fact, I call his mother Mama, because she brought me up. We are more than just friends, more than just brothers. It reminds me of a blurred picture I have in mind of a family gathering, which is the day the picture was taken. Looking at this picture, then looking at us now, I think to myself, wow, we've come a long way from where we began. And it makes it even better because we still maintain this relationship, where each of us knows that the other is more than just a brother. The picture symbolizes the relationship I now hold with my best friend / brother. It means a lot. Just looking at this picture makes me speechless.